Hi there, my name is Chris Chan. I'm the Deputy University Librarian here at HKBU. In this short video, I'm going to share a few thoughts on the research process and how these link to information search skills. So, a very basic question first. What is research? At its simplest, this is finding out things that you did not know before. This definition here, comes from Wallemann's text, published in 2011. I like it because it notes that while research should have some structure, it need not be very rigid. So it says here, an activity that involves finding out in a more or less systematic way things that you did not know. Really basic definition that I like. So there it is again. So what can research do for us, for you? Quite a lot, as it turns out. You can use research to describe, explain, compare, predict, and more. But generally, you need to have some motivation or reason to conduct research. So for example, as a librarian at HKBU, I might have this question. Do AVA students borrow print books from a library? Now I might ask this question because I know that AVA students in particular would benefit from our excellent collection of printed art books. So that's how we could start our research process. But the research process does not end there. It doesn't usually consist of a single neat question. And you will find when you do research that one question really does lead to another. Now that initial question that I asked is actually pretty vague. Do AVA students borrow print books? After some thought, I may decide that I want to get a more precise answer and actually find out exactly how many books AVA students borrow. So this leads me quite naturally to the next step of my research. Other questions will surely arise. For example, if I find that AVA students don't borrow print books, the next obvious question is why? Why don't they borrow more print books from the library? So asking these practical questions can help you conceptualize your question and break the research process down into more manageable chunks and provide sort of a checklist for your project to determine what data are needed and how they should be analyzed. So we've talked there a bit about how to approach the process. Now, one thing that I always note when talking about research is that it is a circular process as well. Let me get in the circle here. So research definitely has its steps, its stages, exploring, selecting a topic, breaking down the topic as we discussed, and finding an appropriate focus, asking those specific questions, searching the different sources, and the next videos are going to talk more about that, synthesizing and analyzing all of the information you've gathered, last but not least, writing the paper. But again, this is making it all too neat. It's never this neat. Like, for example, while you're searching, you might find some new information that causes you to go back and ask new questions about your topic. And that's fine. That's a natural part of the research process. And really, that's kind of the crux of my final thoughts on research at this point. So, some points to note first. That research is really critical to lifelong learning because it requires you to go beyond memorizing, understanding information that's already known, and contributing new knowledge to the information that's out there. And to do that, I encourage you to keep asking questions. There are very, very few topics where everything is known and are completely closed to further inquiry, especially when it comes to something as subjective as the visual arts. So ask questions. And even if you can't find a definitive answer, the act of inquiry itself can be useful and productive, even if it's just training your own mind. So you will be frustrated, when research gets messy, but that's normal, and as I just said, can be useful to have these very normal feelings of frustration while you're doing your research. And the final point to make is that there is no single correct way to do research. Everyone has their own personalized way of conducting research. So this video has provided a really broad overview of some of the principles of research. Now you're ready to start looking at some more specific search skills relating to our resources in the visual arts. So good luck and enjoy.